All right. Let's go get lost in Tamriel, shall we? Is this working? Yes. Okay, so our goal here, we have a mod set up that we think is going to work. I think the idea is to play a dumb orc who whose mission it is to find and read books. Voracious reader. But the only thing they know how to do to get them is to beat things up with a greatsword. It's going to be a light armor character. And their trademark move is going to be Zigzag. And his name is Zug. And I might try to do the whole thing in a dumb orc voice. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay. Where's my mouse? Come back to me.
Approach, my child, and choose where your new life shall
So one of the best
begin.
ways to test, make sure the way the combat and enemies feel more or less makes sense is to just do Bleak Falls Barrow. And the most efficient way of doing that is just to, my favorite way of doing it, I'm using alternate start to let me opt out of the intro sequence.
The woods can be so peaceful this time of year. Good
And
hunting.
I, Zug, am camping in the woods. The setup was pretty heavily modded about a year ago. I more or less haven't touched it. The weather's been modded. Most of the weapons and armors have been modded in a way to either add detail or make it pop more. What that? Huh? Big loudy mouth. Ruh. I have a camping mod called Campfire that I really like. I think it's very flavorful. One of my concerns about this loadout is that I don't want the weather to be too cheery. Man, this doesn't feel good, though. I feel like I'm not... Like, FreeSync isn't... Or, sorry, G-Sync isn't working. Why does this feel bad? Let me try minimizing stuff, see if that helps. No difference. Crap. Okay. Maybe it's something in the INI file that I changed? I also just need to see basically what my frame rate is. Probably the Steam overlay is the best way to do that. So let me just turn it on. I know it's going to make things buggier, but... Alright. This is the way we go. Okay. So first let's double check the INI settings. I'm not using a new version of Bethany. I should probably fix that. But man, I just want this to kind of work the way I set it up last year. Not too much fuss. Yeah, it's hassle on me. Lock frame rate, no. Recommended tweaks. Ultra. What else? I don't think I care about most of this stuff. And there was some other stuff under interface that I changed with regard to book reading. I wonder if that stuff stuck. Like F book distance. No. Oh, that did stick. This is going to make books take up more of the screen because, spoiler alert, if I do this playthrough, I'll be reading some Skyrim books. Okay. Desync off. Yucks. Yuck. All right. Let's start with that. Let's turn on the in-game overlay. Top right FPS counter. Okay. All right, let's try it again. $60 FPS in the menu. That's expected. Actually, I don't remember if the menu plays at a high frame rate. All right, so that explains it. Oh no, there's the frame rate going up. 83. Why does it feel like G-Sync ain't working? You haven't used the higher frame rates. 80 FPS ain't much. All right. Well, it's game. Ooh, I'm so glad this add-on works. I like this one a lot. Just take it all, I guess. I have an add-on that makes food useful. I didn't remember that. Garlic bread. I'll give her some garlic bread. Very good, Zug. I think we're not going to be muddling too much with crafting, though. Partly because it's going to be part of the fantasy of the character, and partly because I just think crafting in this game is a bit boring. Okay, I'm using an add-on called All Geared Up. So I should be showing all my weapons that are favorited on my character, which is cool. I have a problem sometimes where when the game runs at a high frame rate, especially in interiors, moving in third person gets very difficult. Okay, so now we have our bow. We do any cooking? No. This is the campfire add-on. Let's see, instincts ability. Let's see what else we got. That's to place a campfire. Not going to do that. Cancel. How do I cancel? What else? Oh, this is for gathering wood, and then the last one is making stuff. Yes. So this is like survival crafting. I can make a tanning rack or a walking stick. Stone arrows. I think I'll do neither for now. There's usually a camp up here with some bandits and occasionally some deer. So let's see if we can find some trouble. There's a buck. This will get me some leather. Ah, stop moving. Owned. Yeah, it's just a weird bug too where I don't care about cooking right now. I'll take the hide. Let me show you make a fur cloak here with I need hide lace. Can I make hide lace? Probably need some linen for that, right? No. Now I can make a fur cloak. Neat. Oof. It's a bit bulky, huh? Alright, so here's this camp. Anyone home? No. It's okay, we can loot it. Let me bump up the sounds a bit. Increase my immersion. Magic, voice, effects, footsteps. Menus don't need to be so loud. Oh, look at all these things. Just leave the rest, I guess. Oh, I wanted to bump up the general volume, though. Right. Books. Oh yeah, this is big. Maybe a little too big. The smell of the bay oozed through the stones of the cellar. Salt and briny decay. The cellar itself had its own sense of old wine turned to vinegar, mildew, and the more exotic spices of herbs and heal. God. Reading that in a voice is going to be a cult. Okay, so to kick this off, I could run straight to Bleak Falls Barrow, I guess. Right? I just have to get the Dragonstone. I kind of want to save Rayloff. My boy Rayloff. who I think is up here. Is this not the cave? I don't remember where the cave is. And that goes back to Helgen. Yeah, it doesn't feel like 100 frames per second. Here it is. Went too far. So 100 and 200 frames per second. And if I go to third person, yeah, I can move around. But the game still doesn't feel very good. Well. I think you get to choose who to save, I think. I think this is Rayloff over here. I came to see what was going on here. What? No, you don't understand. Yes, I have one right here.
Keep your eyes open.
Okay.
There he goes. Looks like he's gone for good this time. No way to know if anyone else made it out alive. But this place is going to be swarming with Imperials soon enough. We better clear out of here. My sister, Gerda, runs the mill in Riverwood, just up the road. I'm sure she'd help you out. It's probably best if we split up. Good luck. I wouldn't have made it without your help today.
It's weird that he says it's best if we split up, but then the rest of this quest is orchestrated as though you're not splitting up.
You should go to Windhelm and join the fight to free Skyrim. You've seen the true face of the Empire here today. If anyone will know what the coming of the dragon means, it's Ulfric.
Oh, I want the Alkide. Yeah, so what's the fine for auto run? Let's see. That must be a default fine. That feels weird. I have to change that. Oh, fuck, this game feels good.
See that ruin up there? Bleak Falls Barrow. I never understood how my sister could stand living in the shadow of that place. I guess you get used to it.
appreciate the immersive qualities of footsteps. Oh my god. Fuck. I literally feel my stomach unknotting.
These are the Guardian Stones. 3 of the 13 ancient standing stones that dot Skyrim's landscape. Go ahead. See for yourself.
So Zug is going to take the way of the warrior, of course. Let's roll.
Remember, this isn't Stormcloak territory. If we're ahead of the news from Helgen, we should be fine. As long as we don't do anything stupid. If we run into any Imperials, just let me do the talking, alright?
Not a fan of the fur cloak.
I'm glad you decided to come with me. We're almost to Riverwood.
Me too, Raylo. Zug 2. "56 frames. Oh boy. Damn, looks good. Oh.
Looks like nobody here knows what happened yet. Come on. Gerda's probably working in her lumber mill.
A dragon! I saw a dragon!
What? What is it now, Mother?
It was as big as the mountain and black as night. It flew right over the barrel.
Dragons now, is it? Please, Mother. If you keep on like this,
I think this Zug doesn't wear a helmet.
and I've got better things to do than listen to more.
Too sweaty.
Gerda!
Brother, Mara's mercy, it's good to see you. But is it safe for you to be here?
Gerda.
We heard that Ulfric had been captured.
Gerda, I'm fine. At least now I am.
Are you hurt? What's happened? And who's this? One of your comrades?
Not a comrade yet, but a friend. I owe him my life, in fact. Is there somewhere we can talk? There's no telling when the news from Helgen will reach the Imperials.
Helgen? Has something happened? You're right. Follow me. Pod, come here a minute. I need your help with something.
What is it, woman? Sven drunk on the job again?
Pod, just come here.
Raylo, what are you doing here? Ha, I'll be right down.
I guess I've looked at the mountains.
Uncle Rayleigh, can I see your axe? How many Imperials have you killed? Do you really know Ulfric's Stormcloak?
Hush, Frodnar. This is no time for your games. Go and watch the South Road. Come find us if you see any Imperial soldiers coming.
Aw, Mama. I want to stay and talk with Uncle Rayleigh.
Look at you. Almost a grown man. Won't be long before you'll be joining the fight yourself.
That's right. Don't worry, Uncle Rayleigh. I won't let those soldiers sneak up on you.
Now, Raylo, what's going on? You two look pretty well done in. I can't remember when I last slept. Where to start? Well, the news you heard about Ulfric was true. The Imperials ambushed us outside Darkwater Crossing. Like they knew exactly where we'd be. That was 2 days ago now. We stopped in Helgen this morning, and I thought it was all over. Had us lined up to the headsman's block and ready to start chopping.
The cowards!
They wouldn't dare give Ulfric a fair trial. Treason for fighting for your own people. All of Skyrim would have seen the truth then. But then, out of nowhere, a dragon attacked.
You don't mean a real, live...
I can hardly believe it myself. And I was there. As strange as it sounds, we'd be dead if not for that dragon. In the confusion,
I've heard
we
this
managed to
dialogue
slip
so many
away.
times.
Are we really the first to make it to Riverwood?
Nobody else has come up the South Road today, as far as I know.
Good. Maybe we can lay up for a while. I hate to put your family in danger, Gerda, but...
Nonsense. You and your friend are welcome to stay here as long as you need to. Let me worry about the Imperials. Any friend of Raylof's is a friend of mine. Here's the key to the house. Stay as long as you like. If there is anything else you need, just let me know.
I'll take your healing potions. Your lockpick. I like meat too. And bread and cheese. Keep all your fruit and veg though. Gross.
There is something you could do for me. For all of us here. The Jarl needs to know if there's a dragon on the loose. Riverwood is defenseless. We need to get word to Jarl Balgruuf in Whiterun
Jarl
to send whatever
Balgruuf.
troops he can. If you'll do that for me, I'll be in your debt. I'm glad to help
Thanks,
any way I
sister.
can.
I knew we could count on you.
I ought to get back to work before I missed, but did anyone else escape? Did Ulfric?
Don't worry. I'm sure he made it out. It'll take more than a dragon to stop Ulfric's Stormcloak. I'll let them into the house and, you know, show them where everything is.
Help them drink up our mead, you mean? Good luck, brother. I'll see you later.
Don't worry about me. I know how to lay low.
I love about all this exposition is it's not... I'm not going through to get a piece of fucking loot. It's just part of the experience. It's so refreshing after playing MMOs. Damn, that's good. I gotta figure out though what's going on with the input. It feels really weird. Oh my god. Barking dogs in this game. Maybe the interiors are a little too bright. Let's see how it looks on the stream later. What's up? Should we talk? Zug. Me Zug. Who are you?
Make yourself at home.
I'll get to Whiterun from here.
Cross the river and then head north. You'll see Whiterun on its hill as you pass the falls.
What, Jarl?
Jarl Balgruuf? I don't mean to be disrespectful as he's ruled Whiterun Hold well for years, but he seems in over his head now. He's been trying to stay out of the war, but it can't last.
Look at that
He's
fidgeting
going to
ball.
have to pick a side. I'm afraid he's going to make the wrong choice.
Why? Is he Empire?
I wouldn't say that. But he and Ulfric have been at odds for years, and I'm afraid Balgruuf will end up siding with the Empire because of it. But it's hard to believe that even Balgruuf would choose Elisif over Ulfric.
Oh, the politics. Who Elisif?
I suppose she's Jarl Elisif now. She married High King Turig just before Ulfric killed him. The Empire supports her claim to be High Queen. I don't really have anything against her. Not her fault that her husband Turig was bought and paid for by the Empire. But she's nothing but a puppet for the Empire now, with her husband Turig dead. Ulfric will make sure she never takes the throne as High Queen.
Ulfric killed High King?
Some say murdered, but it was a lawful challenge. in the old
Murdered?
way. Ulfric called him out as a traitor to Skyrim and killed him in single combat. If Torrig couldn't defend his throne, he had no business being High King.
So no hiking, no?
No, not until the moot meets to choose another. It
Moot?
won't meet until one side or the other wins the war. Don't worry though. Ulfric is our rightful High King. He'll drive out the Empire, and Skyrim will have peace at last.
What, this Riverwood?
It's my mill. Some folks thinks it's my town too, but it ain't. The Jarl in Whiterun owns the land and the town. I just pay the taxes.
War?
The Empire may have been good for Skyrim once upon a time, but those days are long past. Banning the worship of Talos was the last straw. Thalmor everywhere, dragging people off for honoring our own gods. I'm glad Ralof is helping drive them out of here. If I was a bit younger, I might have joined the fight myself.
Girder Stormcloak. That enough for
Until
now.
next time.
Where Ralof? Ralof. Ralof sleeping? No. Wait. Ralof bartender. Bartender. Can't reach.
Damn faithless Imperials.
You think I should join up Ulfric?
Damn right. You don't have to be a Nord to fight for Sky. You should.
Okay.
If
I
anyone
actually
will
been through
know
all this
what the
dialogue
coming of
before.
the dragon
I just wanted to
means,
see how the orc
it's
voice
us.
sounded. Let's read a book. How long is this? Not very long. 7 pages. Olaf and the Dragon by Adrenato Leotelli. One of the more colorful legends in Nord folklore is a tale of Olaf One-Eye and Numinex. I'm going to do alternating, so I'll do one paragraph in the Zug voice and one paragraph in my normal voice. I'll see which is less annoying. Long ago in the First Age, a fearsome dragon named Numinex ravaged the whole of Skyrim. The dreadful drake wiped out entire villages, burned cities, and killed countless Nords. It seemed that no power in Tamriel could stop the monster. This was a troubled time in Skyrim's history, for a bitter war of succession raged between the holds. The Jarls might have been able to conquer the beast if they had worked together, but trust was in desperate short supply. A skillful warrior named Olaf came forward and promised to defeat the beast. In some accounts, he is the Jarl of Whiterun. In other versions of the legend, Olaf promises the people of Whiterun that he will capture the monster if they will name him Jarl. At any rate, Olaf ventures forth with a handful of his most trusted warriors and seeks the beast out, eventually finding Numinex in his lair atop Mount Anthor. Needless to say, it is an epic battle. First, Olaf comes at the dragon with his axe and his shield. Some variants of the legend say that Olaf and the beast battled with blade and claw for days, but were too evenly matched for either to gain an advantage. Most accounts hold that Olaf, perhaps frustrated with his weapons are completely ineffectual against the dragon, finally casts them aside. Giving voice to the rage that has been building within him, Olaf unleashes a terrible shout. Here again, the stories diverge. Many accounts hold that Olaf did not realize he possessed the power of dragon speech, while others suggest that he had long possessed this gift, but wished to test himself against the dragon in martial combat first. Virtually all variation of the legend, however, agree on what happened next. Using the awesome powers of the dragon language, Numinex and Olaf engage in an epic shouting duel atop Mount Anthor. That's what me and my wife were doing earlier tonight, am I right? So forceful are their words, they are said to shatter the stone and split the sky. Finally, Numinex collapses from a combination of injury and sheer exhaustion. Somehow, and this detail is conspicuously absent in virtually every account, Olaf manages to convey the dragon all the way back to the capital city of Whiterun. The people of Whiterun are suitably impressed with Olaf's hostage. They build a huge stone holding cell at the rear of the palace, which they rename Dragon's Reach. This enormous cell serves as Numenex's prison until his death. Olaf himself eventually becomes the High King of Skyrim, putting an end to the War of Succession. Presumably, his great deed made him the only leader upon whom all the people could agree, and so the land once again has peace. As a visitor to Skyrim, I find this tale both fascinating and highly entertaining. It is one of the most celebrated legends of the Nords, and one can easily understand why. It's a story of surpassing heroism in which a resourceful and worthy Nord does battle with a truly terrifying adversary and emerges victorious by yelling him into submission. The only way in which this could have been even more of a Nordic tale would be if Olaf beat Numenex in a drinking contest. The legend is not without its doubters, however. The bard Svaknir, who lived during Olaf's reign, wrote and performed an alliterative verse that challenged Olaf's version of events. Enraged, the High King threw the rebellious bard in prison and destroyed all written copies of the verse. So that's actually implicated in a later quest in the Bard's College, if I'm remembering correctly. How I would love to lay hands on a copy of that verse. I admit, I'm immensely curious to know what assertions Svaknir made about Olaf really defeating Numenex. This is when this game is at its best. When the books refer to locations and things you can actually visit and do in the game. And back and forth. This is why Skyrim books are so good. There are a few ancient bard texts that provide one possible answer. These tomes suggest that Numenex was particularly foul-tempered, because he was extremely old. In these accounts, the dragon spends his final years terrorizing the countryside before flying off to the top of Mount Anthor to die in peace. I will say that when I'm doing the voice, I find it harder to concentrate on the text compared to when I'm using my normal voice, when I can kind of comprehend it better. Maybe it's just a matter of getting used to it. When Olaf finds Numenex, the dragon is too weak to defend himself. Olaf and his men capture the beast without effort, but decide to take advantage of the situation by fabricating a heroic tale. It is worth noting that all of Olaf's warriors who were said to witness the shout duel went on to become wealthy leaders during Olaf's reign as High King. However, it is equally likely that Svaknir had some grudge against Olaf, and his scandalous verse was an attempt to damage the High King's reputation. Alas, we will never know. I leave you now, good reader, with this gentle reminder. A good historian must remain impartial and consider all points of view. Time has a way of distorting our record of events, so the closer you can get to the original sources, the better. Oh, and this is good too, because this speaks to the unreliable narrator that's so present throughout this game. I love it. Can I take this book? Yes, I can. I'm going to take this book with me. All right. So it's late, and I am not going to sleep next to Girder. That's a little weird, even for Zug. Zug do cooking, late night cooking. Zug snack. Does Zug have any money? Yes, we're gonna get Zug will get a room at the end. All right, we're definitely modding these dogs to be quieter. Because fuck that noise. This amount of darkness feels about right to me. This is even brightened up. It doesn't even feel that bright. Still seems darker than vanilla. Okay.
Orgnar, are you listening?
Hard not to.
Sleeping
The ale
giant.
is going bad. We need to get a new batch. Did you hear me?
Yep, ale's going bad.
I guess you don't have
I like the
potatoes in
distinct
your ears
interiors.
after all. Just make sure we
Nice.
get a fresh batch in soon.
Come on in, just stoke the fire. Take a seat and get the cold out.
Yeah, we're just gonna get a room for the night.
You're that visitor. Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Which I believe is this room. Nope. I believe it's this room. Nope.
You promised me you'd sweep the entranceway.
Which room is mine?
Yep.
Wait, let me guess. You'll get to it.
Anything you need?
Is someone else sleeping in my room?
I don't suppose I could convince you to take care of it now, could I?
No.
I should have guessed.
What do you need?
Get out of my room, buddy. Yeah. Get the hell out of here. Stinky red guard. Oh, a book. A concise account of the Great War between the Empire and the Aldmeri Dominion. Oh, this is making me excited. Take sleep until the morning. Let's get a solid 9 hours. It's like I try to get in the real world. Why not?
Anything you need? Greetings, stranger. The name's Hjormir, and I'm at your service.
Oh, this is one of the interesting NPCs, I think.
Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Perhaps you need your boots shined, or your tunic washed, or need a letter delivered?
Until then, I've no ale for
No. No service.
Well, maybe you need someone to chop you some firewood. Or...
No, you're bad.
Are you in need of an apprentice?
Go away.
I wonder what happened to that fine gentleman who offered to polish my boots. I really wish he were here now. The name's Hjormir, and I'm just the man for the job.
Shut up. Here we go.
Well, one of us has to do something.
I said no. No adventures, no theatrics, no thief chasing.
Well, what are you going to do then, huh? Let's hear it.
We are done talking about this. Oh, a customer. Sorry you had to hear that. Yeah, well, I don't, yeah, an ornament. You could? I've got some coin coming in from my last shipment. It's yours if you bring my claw back. Now, if you're going to get those thieves, you should head to Bleak Falls Barrow, northwest of town.
So this is your plan, Lucan?
Yes. So now you don't have to go, do you?
Oh, really? Well, I think your new helper here needs a guide.
Well, no, by the 8, fine. But only to the edge of town.
I like these intro dialogues. Maybe because they're well worn. Okay.
We have to go through town and
I
across
don't
the bridge
really have
to
to
get to
follow her.
Bleak Falls Barrow. You can see it from here, though. The mountain just over the buildings. Those thieves must be mad hiding out there. Those old crypts are filled with nothing but traps, trolls, and who knows what else.
Sounds bad. Zug-like trolls.
I wonder why they only stole Lucan's golden claw.
Zug's mother
I
is
mean, we
troll.
have plenty of things in the shop that are worth just as much coin. Lucan found the claw about a year after he opened the store. He never quite explained where he got it. He's a tricky one.
Tricky Lucan. We gotta crank the music.
This is the bridge out of town. The path up the mountain to the northwest leads to Bleak Falls Barrow. I guess I should get back to my brother. He'll throw a fit if I take too long. Such a child.
Bye, lady. Zug, careful. Zig, zug, zig, zug, zig, zug. Too slow, Mr. Wolf. Brr. Cold Zug. Snowy Zug. Okay. Where this place? Hello? Hello? How are you? Oh!
Now, ain't
No,
this
no,
a
no.
surprise?
No, you stop. Uh-oh. I'm actually about to die. Where's the bow, guys? I gotta find him.
It's so much easier to roam when you're dead.
Okay.
Can't wait to count out your coin. Tell you what, you start running so I can stab you in the back.
Uh-oh. Zug don't want to die. Zug has so many arrows at him.
Die, damn you.
Zug learned his lesson. Leave Zug alone. Zug stuck. Ooh, that would have been a good move. Oh, Zug! Zug annoyed. Oh. Oh. Oh, so many arrows in me. Me want cloak. Armor too heavy. Okay. Brr, that better. Zug hungry. Any food for Zug? Simple bird. Zug is pincushion now. What do we have here? Oh, this armor better for Zug. Where's other man? Here? Where's other man? Oh, here. Ooh, nice backpack. Zug need bigger weapons. So can't see. There. Okay, Zug, look around more. Zug, take coin. That man no need. Hello? Ooh, Zug, look. That's a life. Zug working up sweat. Bleak Falls Barrow. Zug found it. Oh, hello. Uh-oh.
It's so much easier to rob when you're dead.
Zug in trouble.
Time to finish this. Got your best, huh? Tell you what, you start running so I can stab you in the back.
Ow. Ow. Seriously, this stamina. I have no stamina to do anything. Add-on's doing that. Oh. Why did I... Oh, is there damage over time from the arrow? That's kind of brutal. What difficulty am I on anyway?
We have
Oh,
to go
God.
through town and across the bridge to get to Bleak Falls Barrow. You can see it from here, though. The
Novice?
mountain just over the buildings.
This is Novice? Might be tuned up
Those
a bit
thieves
much.
must be mad hiding out there. Those old crypts are filled with nothing but traps, trolls, and who knows what else.
Ain't every day we get visitors in Riverwood. Take a look. Good day.
So that's a no, I take it?
Zug learned lesson of autosave.
I wonder why
Yes.
they only stole Lucan's golden claw. I mean, we have plenty of things in the shop that are worth just as much coin. Lucan found the claw about a year after.
So regular hit is like,
They never quite explained where
how much stamina do I have? $100 stamina. So one of these swings, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 10 stamina per swing. From walking, it regens faster. And one power swing is like 80. Holy crap. So I'm not going to be doing any power attacks early on. I find the melee combat to be just generally easier in first person. See if that holds out. So hungry. Usually where you want to play this game is like at around adept because of the way difficulty affects followers. Environment sounds are a bit loud. Is that what that is? Ambiance. Alright, save. No power attacks.
You picked a bad time to get lost, friend.
Shoot your friend. Come here.
Tell you what, you start running so I can stab you in the back.
Why am I not getting any stamina? Wow. Ah. So getting power attack versus my stamina, okay. Crap. Zogyu spear. So before I started this character, there was a power called Remove Arrows that I got rid of. My character sheet. I'm now understanding why it exists. Oh, so they stole this. LOL. Zog tries first person this time. Hello?
You're nothing.
Ooh, we like to open that weapon. Oh god.
I'll mount your hand on my wall. I'll mount your hand on my wall.
So scared. Oh! Zog Pro. Zog it. This guy just fell off. It's pretty funny. What about Axka? There, X. the Zugs. I suppose the idea with the stamina penalty is that as I progress, I'll be able to take more swings before I'm fatigued. But I wonder if there's like a multiplication effect happening with Smilodon and Ultimate Combat. Kind of feels like that might be happening.
Time to end this little game.
Go ahead, try and...
Get zugged. Who else wants some zug? Oh wow, that ability pulls the arrows out of my body. That's crazy. Projectile wounds have been healed. Oh, that's how that works. Zug moves on. Zug look. Snake, snakefish. Snake, snakefish. Zug smart. Bandit dumb. Okay. Thief is a badass book. Step. What does it look like? weak paralysis poison. Huh? You don't say.
You hot dear.
Oh, I have another perk? I guess I get one at level 1.
Soling! I know I ran ahead with the claw, but I need help. Not again! Help!
Oh my god.
Get me down! Get me down!
Damn, I think it's scary.
Don't leave me for Arke's sake. You, over here. It's coming loose. I can feel it. You fool. Why should I share the treasure with anyone?
At the end of the day, with this run, I don't want to be really bogged down with difficult combat encounters consistently. I really want the focus to be less on the moment-to-moment combat and more on kind of the flavor of it. Ancient Nord Greatsword. Oh yeah. That is good shit. All die. Stay dead. Zug do not like being careful. Zug ready to run. Oh, lucky Zug. Zigzag. Zigzag. Zig. Zug. That's just nothing to me. Troll skull useful? Maybe. Scroll fireball. Interesting. Didn't quite kill him, huh? Duck instincts tell him nothing. Triple headshot. Let's try bumping this up to Adept. It's more where it needs to be played. I have a feeling this is going to be very hard. We'll try. This is the part of Skyrim that I never much enjoyed. Being in these caves with the low music, it always just feels so tense. And again, maybe it's good if it feels that way. Alright. Time for the claw. How do I look at it again? Right click? No, I just need to look over here. Yeah. Bear, butterfly, owl. Let's go. Time for some loot. What? What? No! Stop! Oh no. What else? Archery seems like it's in his skill set. Definitely gonna go for some speech. Let's go for light armor. That'll help us right here. Wow. Okay. Zug zug. Strange place for a grave. Since no one can reach it. Hey, Pidge. Oh, the super secret project is I think I'm going to do like a Skyrim Let's Play. A modded Skyrim Let's Play. It's going to be a fulfillment of something I've wanted to do for a long time. Because I love this game. I have like a 200 mods installed right now. It's hard to add them up. Like, let me put on a torch quick. So, torch. Where's torch? Oh, you can't really see. So I have a mod that changes the weather in the night sky. You want to play it in VR, but you get sick of it. Yeah, like, I think it's easy to get sick of Skyrim. For me, like, I need a hook to enjoy it. And one of the things I like about Skyrim so much is the books in it. I know it sounds lame, but I love all the lore books and the way that they hook in with the quests and the locations and shit. And I've always wanted to play a character that, like, they were just like a book collector and a reader. And I thought it might be interesting to do a let's play of Skyrim where I play through the book, through the game, but with an angle towards collecting and reading books. And what I can do is have this gameplay loop where I go into dungeons and I look for books and I come back to my pad where it's all relaxed and I have it nice and modded set up so that when I pull out a book, it's like very homey feeling. And we just sit and we do story time, you know, between quests. Am I going the right way, by the way? I've done this 1,000 times. You always turn left after you leave the cave. Not a bad idea. Well, that's a validation that I appreciate. So, right now, my idea for a character that's kind of, hello, you're out late. Greetings. Can you read you stories you go to sleep? Yeah, man. I have some books in my inventory. Should I wake this guy up? What do you vote for? A nose flick? Dagger to the throat? Scream in his ear? All right, here we go. Zog!
Alduin Zug! You nearly threw me off my chair! Noise scares the fish away! Now I'll have to set the rod up all over again. I hope you're happy, stranger. Yes, you're a real jester, aren't you? What are you doing here, anyway? You haven't come to kill me.
So the character I want to play is an orc, because I like orcs. And I think it would make it kind of funny is if my character was kind of dumb, but his mission, despite the fact that he was kind of dumb, his mission is to find books. So like he's too dumb to use magic. Like, yeah, orcs are just amazing. Yes, and I have a voice for him, but I'm not sure if it's too annoying. So I actually read a book earlier on the stream, and I would do a paragraph in my normal voice, and then a paragraph in dumb orc voice. For the company, of course.
I can hardly blame you for that now, can I? It's difficult to resist my charms, and...
Anyway, so I'm going to look back at the VOD and see whether the orc voice is too annoying to listen to or not. Charms? You're as charming as Dalmor and Windhelm. Ha ha.
Ah, but you didn't criticize my food, did you? Progress. Maybe I
So this mob is from... this NPC is from an add-on called... I think called Interesting NPCs. So it just adds NPCs all over the world with custom voice acting, and some of them have quests and some of them don't. Oh, my torch fizzled out. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff in this mod setup. I spent like 50 hours last year putting this mod setup together, and I never played it. So I just done a few tweaks to it to get it working again. NPCs needed a lot of work. Yeah. Ooh. Cold Zug. So an add-on adds the water on my body. That's an add-on or a mod. I had too many mods to name. I can show you the mod list if you want. But generally speaking, I'm not trying to change the look of the game very much. I'm just trying to like make it... I'm just trying to kind of smooth off the edges, if you will, graphically. So like this is modded water. And all the sounds you hear are either cleaned up versions of the original sounds or they're new custom sounds. Like you hear those like crickets and things, those aren't in the original game. The water smoke, that's new from an add-on, from a mod rather. The mountain textures, the road textures, those are new. But it still looks like Skyrim, right? It's just nicer. What you would call a vanilla plus approach. Vanilla being, of course, the unmodified original game. You did the opposite. You wanted blue water, more fantasy-like for some reason. New fogs, mountains, animals. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, a lot of people like to turn Skyrim into a more high fantasy type setting. But I like it right where it is. In fact, I kind of like it, the kind of feeling of like rainy Skyrim a lot. So I hope this weather mod that I have isn't too bright and clear. Like I want it to be a little... I want Skyrim to still feel like a shitty weather place. You know, I want it to be like raining outside when I'm popping a book open next to the fire. Do I still have my room from last night? Let's see.
Come on in. Just stoke the fire.
Right.
Take a seat.
So here's the inn. You can see the interior is modded. It adds some more details. Like this rib cage over the fire is new. There's little statues here. You see how it says Nord on his name? So it's a mod called People Are Strangers. The idea is that you don't know someone's name until you talk to them. Just a little touch. Makes sense to roast an empty ribcage over the fire, I suppose. This is a modded NPC who you would smack, I guarantee you. Oh, so one of my favorite mods is one that makes it so that the bards, like, only sing like 5% of the time. And the rest of the time, they just play instrumentals. Like this. Here, look. Listen how nice this is. Ah. All right. Here's a story. Oh, you want to see my arc? Okay. This is Zug. He's got a ponytail. He's a bit handsome, I think. The story, okay. So I haven't read this one yet during this session. This is called The Refugees by Garros Albre. Do you want me to start with the normal voice or with the orc voice for reading? What do you think? Orc voice, okay. Let's see how this goes. The smell of the bay oozed through the stones of the cellar, salt and briny decay. The cellar itself had its own sense of old wine turned to vinegar, mildew, and the more exotic spices of herbs the healers had brought with them to tend to the wounded. There were more than 50 people squeezed into the big earthen room, which had once been forgotten storage for the brothel above. The groaning and whimpering had ceased for now, and all was still, as if the hospital had turned into a mass grave. How's that so far? Alright, now I'll give you the normal voice. Mother, a red-guard boy, whispered. What was that? The boy's mother was about to answer him, when there was another rolling roar from outside, which grew louder and louder, as if some great but incorporeal beast had come into the cellar. The walls trembled and dust burst from the ceiling in a rain of powder. Unlike the last time, no one screamed. They waited until the weird, haunting sound had passed, and that was replaced by the soft rumble of a distant battle. Alright, back to Orc now. A wounded soldier began whispering Mara's prayer from the doomed. Mangar, a Bosmer woman curled up on a cot, hissed, her eyes feverish.
Once was a hero
Flesh.
named Ragnar the Red.
Shut up,
riding
you.
the White Run from Old Rorik's. Faendal thinks he can woo Camilla Valerius away from me. She's already mine, I keep telling him.
Sure. What can I do for you?
Sure. My voice could use a rest.
Quiet.
Greetings, Gore.
Perfect.
That armor looks like it could use a polish.
Back to the book.
So does your pitch, boy. Didn't I tell you last time to be more specific? If you want someone's business, point out the stain on their chest plate or the blood on their boots.
But you don't have any stains on your chest plate.
Go tend to the chickens, boy.
That was a conversation between a vanilla NPC and a modded NPC. So cool. So cool. Okay. Mankar, a Bosmer woman curled up on a cot, hissed, her eyes feverish, flesh white and wet with sweat. He is coming. Who is coming? Asked the boy, grasping his mother's skirt tight. Who do you think, lad? The sweetsmonger? A grizzled one-armed redguard growled. The Cameron usurper. I don't know if I can do this orc voice for reading books, man. Like, it's so hard to add inflection. The boy's mother shot an angry look at the old warrior. She doesn't know what she's saying. She is sick. The boy nodded. His mother was usually right. He had not yet even been born when people began whispering that the Cameron usurper was coming towards her little village, and she had packed up their belongings to flee. Their neighbors had laughed at her, she said, saying that Riyadh and Taneth would handily defeat him. Her husband, Lukar's father, who he was never to meet, had also laughed at her. It was the harvest time, and she would miss out on the celebrations, but his mother, Maikai, was right. 2 weeks after she fled the village, she heard the tale that it had been obliterated during the night with no survivors. Riyadh and Taneth had both fallen. The usurper was unstoppable. Lucar had been born and grown up in the refugee camps throughout Hammerfell. He had never known a friend for more than a few days. He knew that when the sky burned red to the west, they would pack up and move east. When it burned to the south, they moved north. At last, after 12 years of moving from camp to camp, they had taken passage across the Iliac Bay to the province of High Rock and the barony of Dwinin. There, Maikai promised and hoped they would have a peaceful, permanent home. It was so green there, it blinded him. Unlike Hammerfell, which was only green in certain seasons and in certain places. Dwinin was verdant year-round. Until wintertide, when it began to snow, and Lucar had been frightened of it at first. He was ashamed to think of it now, when there was real danger, but the red clouds of war, the sting and pain of the refugee camp. That was familiar. Now the red sky was on the horizon of the bay, and coming closer, and he longed for the days when a scattering of white made him cry. Mankar, the Bosmer woman cried out again. He's coming, and he will bring death. No one's coming, said a pretty young Breton healer, coming to the woman's side. Hush now. Hello? Came a voice from above. The whole room, almost together as one, gasped. A Bosmer limped down the shoddy wooden stairs, his friendly face very obviously not that of the Cameron usurper. Sorry if I frightened you, he said. I was told there were healers here, and I could use a little help. Rosena hurried to take a look at the Bosmer's wounds on his leg and chest. Disheveled, but still beautiful, she was one of the favorites of the brothel, who had learned her healing skill along with her more vocational skills at the House of Debella. She carefully but quickly pulled the rent leather cuirass, choses, tassets, greaves, and boots off him, and placed them to the side while she examined the injuries. The old Red Guard warrior picked them up and studied them. You were in the war. Next to it is probably a better way to put it, the Bosmer smiled, wincing slightly at Rosena's touch. Behind it, beside it, in front of it, my name's Orban Nemlock. I'm a scout. I try to avoid the real battle so I can get back and report what I see. A good job for people who don't like the color of their own blood very much. Azim, said the warrior, shaking Orban's hand. I can't fight anymore, but I can fix up this armor if you're going to return. You were pooping. Happy to be a soundtrack to your BMs there, bitch. You're a leathersmith. Nah, just a jack of all trades, replied Nazim, opening up a small canister of wax to prep the hard but flexible leather. I could tell you were a scout from the armor, though. Can you tell us what you've been spying on? We've been down in here for half a day now, with no word from the outside. The entire Iliac Bay is one great battlefield on the waves, said Orban, and sighed as Rosena's spell began to close his jagged but shallow wounds. Too much? We've shut off the invasion from the mouth of the bay, but I was coming from the coast, and the enemy's army is marching over the Rothgarian mountains. That's where I had my little scuffle. It's not too surprising, moving the flank in from the side where the front battle is occupied. It's a play right out of Cameron Kaltos' Book of Tricks, the Heart King borrowed. The Heart King? Lucar asked. He'd been listening quietly, understanding everything except that. Cameron? Heyman? Is that an H? Only if you hear all the sound effects, indeed. I'm gonna say that's a K-H. Heyman Cameron, the Cameron usurper. Heyman Heart King. They're all the same, lad. He's a complicated fellow and needs more than one name. You know him? Maikai asked, stepped forward. Near on 20 years before this whole black bloody business. I was Cameron Kaltos' chief scout, and Heyman was his sorcerer and advisor. I helped them both when they were vying for the Cameron throne and began the conquest of... Ouch! Rosena had ceased her healing. With eyes of fury, she had reversed the spell, and the closed, bended wounds were opening again, dark infections returning. How's that? She held him with surprising strength when Orban tried to pull back. bastard, the healer courtesan hissed. I have a cousin in Felonesti? In Felonesti, a priestess. She's fine, Orban yelped. Lord Kaltos is very adamant about not harming anyone who did not pose a threat. I think the people of Kvatch would disagree with that assessment, said Azim coldly. That was horrible. The worst thing I've ever seen, Orban nodded. Kaltos wept when he saw what Haman had done. My master did everything he could to stop it, begging the Heart King to return to Valenwood. But he turned on Kaltos and we fled. We are not your enemy, and we have never been. Kaltos could do nothing to prevent the horror that the usurper has brought onto the Colovian West and Hammerfell. He's fought for 15 years to prevent more. The frightening bestial roar passed through the cellar again, even louder than before. The wounded could not help groaning in helpless terror. And what is that? Maikai sneered. Another of Cameron Kaltos' tricks that the usurper picked up? It is indeed a trick, as a matter of fact, Orban yelled above the screech. It's a phantasm he employs to scare people. He had to use fear tactics in the beginning when his power was ascending, and he has to fall back on them now for his power is waning. That is why it took him 2 years to conquer Valenwood and another 13 to half-conquer Hammerfell. A lot of exposition in this one. No offense to your Red Guards, but it isn't only your battle prowess that has been holding him back. He does not have the support he used to have from his master. The echoing roar increased in intensity before once again falling silent. Mankar, the Bosmer woman groaned. If he comes, then he will destroy all.
Oh, I hope it comes.
His master? Asked Lucar, but Orban's eyes had gone to the Bosmer woman, curled up in her blood-soaked cot. Who is she? Orban asked Rosena. One of the refugees, of course. From your friendly little war in Valenwood before you and your Kaltos changed sides. The healer replied. I think her name is Kalis. By Sheffer, Orban whispered under his breath, limping over to the woman's cot and wiping the sweat and blood-streaked hair from her pallid face. Kalis, it's Orban. Do you remember me? How did you get here? Did he hurt you? Mankar, Kalis moaned. That's all she says, said Rosena. I don't know what that is. Not the usurper, though she knew him too, very well. She was a favorite of his. His favorites, you, Kaltos, her, all seemed to turn against him, said Maikai. That's why he will fail, replied Izem. Armored footfall rang along the ceiling. Shonk, shonk, shonk. And the cellar door burst open. Crack! It was the captain of Baron Ulthrock's castle guards. The docks are on fire. If you want to live, you'll need to take refuge at Castle Whitemore. We need help, Rosena called back, but she knew that the guards were needed for defense, not to help carry the sick to safety. With 10 guards, who could be spared, and the most able-bodied of the wounded assisting, the cellar was emptied as the streets of Dwenin filled with smoke, and the fire began to spread through the chaos. It had been a single fireball miscast out at sea, striking the docks, but the damage would be tremendous. Some hours later, in the courtyard of the mighty castle, the healers were able to set up the cots and began to tend once again to the suffering of the innocent. The first person Rosena found was Orban Emlock. Even with his wounds reopened, he'd helped carry 2 of the patients into the castle. I'm sorry, she said as she pressed her healing hands into his wounds. I lost my temper. I forgot I'm a healer. Where is Kalis? Orban asked. She's not here? Rosena said, looking around. She must have run away. Run away? But wasn't she injured? It was not a healthy situation, but new mothers can surprise you with what they can do when it's all over. She was pregnant? Orban gasped. Yeah. It wasn't such a difficult birth in the end. She was holding the boy in her arms when I saw her last. I'm sorry about your internet, Pidge. She said she had done it to herself. She said she had done it herself. This one's a little bit long, man. Oh, man. I can't believe this is still going. She was pregnant, Orban murmured again. The mistress of the Cameron usurper was pregnant. Word quickly spread throughout the castle that the battle was over. And more than that, the war was over. Haemon Cameron's forces had been defeated at sea, and in the mountains, the Heart King was dead. Lucar watched down from the battlements into the dark woods that surrounded Dwinnen. He'd heard about Kalis, and he imagined a desperate woman playing with her newborn baby in her arms in the wilderness. Kalis would have nowhere to go, no one to protect them. She and her baby would be a refugee like my guy and Abim had been. Reflecting back, he remembered her words. He is coming. He is coming. And he will bring death. He will destroy all. Lucar remembered her eyes. She was sick but not afraid. Who was this he who was coming? The Cameron usurper was dead. Did she say nothing else? She told me the baby's name, Roskina replied. Manker. Good ending, though. So that's the idea. We play, we find some books, and we read. Me and my boy Zug. It's about time for me to be putting this down for the night. But there are a couple more ideas I want to work on before I do this for real. I think that the setup is pretty close to done in terms of the mods. But there are two very important mods I want to get done. Sorry, one's a mod, one's not. There's a mod that makes it so you can speak your shouts into a microphone and then have the shout occur in the game. So rather than pressing a button, I would say, boost Roda into the mic, and it would do the shout in game. So I gotta get that set up.
We got rooms and food.
I tried it before and it was a little buggy, but maybe the technology's improved. And the second thing is I want to see if I can get a one of those webcam face changers that makes me look a little bit more orcish. Goodness. Then again, maybe that'll be a little too much. It's raining outside. Let's see what that looks like. A little bit of early morning rain in over Riverwood. I'm pretty sure the rain not landing under the awning is a modded thing, but I'm not 100% sure. I might have to work on the performance a little bit too. I don't really like dipping below 60 FPS. Are you on the job, Pidge? Or are you back home? Oh, look, I got water in my eyes. Is that what just happened? That was weird. So here's another cool thing. That's how I made my wife fall in love with me. Many, many years ago.
I'm glad to help any way I
When
can.
we met, we were living far apart. We did a long-distance relationship thing. So when she went to sleep at night, she would pull me up and I'd read, did Harry Potter for a little while, but it was too exciting for her. So we ended up moving to James Harriet stories. To this day, those still put her right to sleep.
Show those thieves not... I'm gonna put this back where it belongs.
I want to see if he'll
I'll
sell me a tent. I want to show you what that looks like.
You've
It's
done
pretty
a
cool.
great thing for me and my sister. Thank you so much. Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that.
No tent. Face changers?
It was a pleasure.
What do you mean? My chat is like 5 minutes behind. Well, there should be some delay. Five minutes is a bit too long, though. There it is. Tent. That's what I'm looking for. Player, add item, 0901A33D1. Got it. Okay. So this is one of the really cool mods I want to show before I log off. So let's say you're not the type to like staying at inns, or you just can't quite afford it.
Can I help you?
I got this great mod called Campfires that's kind of focused on giving you some easy ways to live off the land a little bit. Let's check this out. Let's find a good place for a campfire. Here, this is a good looking spot. Change your face to an avatar of some sort. Oh yeah, for the Twitch thing? I don't know. I'm not sure what they're called. I need to find out. So I need... help. Which one is it? Clearly have the wrong firewood. Replenish for roaring campfire. Yeah. So I'm cheating a little bit to get these items, but it's not very hard to get this set up. So I have a campfire. If I had any followers, they'd sit around the campfire and talk to each other. Now I can put up my tents. This is really cool. Yeah, don't worry about the delay, man. It's not a big deal. This is the territory. check this out. Time to go camping, baby. And I'm pretty sure there's a lamp I can turn on. Hold on. I can sit. Oh, there's more we can do. Hang on. Sit. Turn on the light. That clipping's a little weird. Definitely not perfect. And I can pop a book. For the record, this book, I read it earlier on the stream, is much better than the one we just read. Olaf and the Dragon's a solid tale. It's one of the more colorful legends in Nord folklore. A tale of Olaf One-Eye and Numinex. And I can, let's see, toggle view? What does toggle view do? Not sure. But I can also lay down. And if I do, it'll take off some of my camp gear. I'll just chill out, baby. Get some Z's. Have a little cat nap. Oh, yeah. And do I have a cook pot? No, hang on. Cooking pot. I'm not sure what it's called. I had to get to sleep myself then. So I can then pick up my... I can pack up. And it goes into my back. And I can put a cook pot here and cook, but I don't have a cook pot on me, so instead, I'll put out the fire. And get rid of the campsite and be on my merry. Look at how beautiful this is. I hope it's coming through the stream okay. I like the audio settings where they were. Bring up footsteps a little. Bring back the ambiance. Music I still like having up. Bring this down. But yeah, like I've never actually beaten the main quest in Skyrim. Oh my god, look at that sky. Fuck. I've never beaten the main quest in this game, and maybe I will. I've done the companion's quest line. I've never beaten the Civil War. One of the things I thought I might do that would be really fun is actually to like do a poll where my viewers can determine which side of the Civil War I pick. I think this would be a fun thing to do. Maybe like a once a week type thing. I'm not sure. Not sure. I have so many other games I need to be playing. This is a guilty pleasure I've always wanted to come back to. What's up, man?
What do you need? Where are you headed? You just enjoy the fresh air and leave the rowing to me.
Yes, never beat it. It's true. True, sad but true. Wow. Wow, I'm looking at my network stats for the stream. It says I've dropped like 10% of my frames. Holy crap, my network must be throwing a shit fit. Maybe it's not you. Maybe it's all on my side. That's a bummer. I love Skyrim though. Seriously, when I'm trying to relax, I'll actually put on this. Skyrim atmospheres. You're trying to sleep, man? Put this in your ears. My scene of Whiterun doesn't really match. Alduin's a bitch to kill without many health potions. Delayed badly. Yeah, it might not be you. I wouldn't worry about it too much. I gotta kill the stream anyway. But last thing I'll say is that I didn't finish the main quest, but a long time ago, like 5 years ago, I set up Skyrim Original Pre-Special Edition on my wife's laptop with a bunch of mods to make it run on her crappy laptop. And she beat the main quest. She's beaten it. She's further in the game than I am, even though I put in like, according to Steam, like 370 hours. Most of it just modding it. All right. Well, Pidgeys has been really fun, dude. I'll be back doing this again. But now it's time to call it a night. See you later, Twitch.